If you are catching this part, you could be watching replay. So if you can hashtag replay in the comments, that would be awesome. Otherwise, if you are coming in live, let me know you're on, how you're doing. Welcome. So glad you guys are here today. Hi Tracy, how are you? Thanks so much for sprinkling me into the Craft Around the Clock group. I so appreciate you and all you do. So come on in guys, as you hop on, be sure and say hi. Let me know you're here. A big hint of what we're going to be working with today. It is plastic because it is the plastic Creating with Plastic Fun Friday event on Craft Around the Clock. You guys glad it is Friday? Hi, Totally Together Crafting by Brenda. How are you doing today? Thank you for hopping on. Hi, Carolyn. How are you? Welcome, welcome, everyone. How is your day going? Have you been catching the event today in Craft Around the Clock? Hi, Sheila. Thanks so much for sprinkling. I appreciate that. I keep spilling these rhinestones from Totally Dazzled over here on the side. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I think this is the third time I've picked them up now. Hi, Kim with Craft Crazy Company. How are you today? Thanks for hopping on. It's good to see you guys. Big plans for the weekend? Anyone? All right, if you guys are new and you don't know me, my name is Darlia, and I am owner of Darche Designs. I do live in Colorado, and I so appreciate you being here today. So we're gonna get busy. We're gonna do something I have never done before. So wish me luck, right? We have some plastic Easter eggs, fairly good sized. They do also have flat bottoms, which is nice for what we're gonna do. I did actually run to Hobby Lobby this morning and pick these up because you would think in my stash of a million things I would have something, but all I had were the little small ones, not the ones that I wanted to use for today. So they did come, as you can see, in a package of 4. They were $6.99 and they were 40% off. So pretty good deal. And what else we're going to be working with today is some fabric Mod Podge, and all sorts of other things. So welcome you guys. I hope this will be fun. Give you an idea. They do have the really huge plastic Easter eggs at Hobby Lobby too, that I feel like you could do this on a bigger scale if you wanted to tackle it. Hi Lena. Hi Cindy with Cindy's Creations. Welcome Stephanie. If you guys wouldn't mind smashing some of those just to wake up Facebook, I would really appreciate it. Also just commenting and sprinkling, all those things are a huge help just to get Facebook woke up in my area of the Facebook world. So hopefully they'll start sprinkling it out there and get more people on here. Grabbing scissors, trying to be organized today, guys. And that is the hope, right? Thank you guys for those hearts. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some different fabrics, and you guys can kind of help me with this. I figure we would, rather than paint the eggs, we're just going to kind of color coordinate fabrics to the colors of our eggs. So if anything shows by chance, we're going to try to cover it. It won't look as bad as if it's white. is all I'm trying to say here. So, would you rather see me do the blue egg or the pink egg? So here are your fabric choices. I reached into my stash. If you guys have seen my stash, you know I have a stash. So for the blue one, we have the cute little Easter bunnies, the basket flowers. We have a yellow gingham print and just a blue that I thought would tie in well. So there are our fabrics for the blue egg. If you choose to go with the pink egg, we have some, it's a pink background with some white flowers with blue middles. So that would be our print for our pink egg. And then I have a pink with white polka dots, a pink gingham, and just kind of, this actually has a little bit of sparkle in it, but it just kind of looks like washed. I don't know what the correct wording would be for it. But anyway, there's our choices for the pink egg. So you guys, I need you to tell me, pink egg or blue egg? Hi, Francis. Hi, Fonda. Hi, Carolyn. So if you want to make it simpler, you can do hearts for pink and thumbs up for blue. It's not working. Hi, Sue. How are you? Cindy says pink. What are you guys thinking? Sue says pink. I'm removing the yellow and green for now. Doesn't mean I won't do those at some point. So we have two pinks. The pink is ahead. Is anybody for the blue? Hi, Lou. How are you? I actually got sleep last night, guys. It's amazing what that does for your mood, right? It helps a whole lot. It just makes you feel better. So I have two pinks. I guess let's just go with pink. Are you guys good with that? I'm not seeing any blues. So see another heart. So that would be pink. Yeah, I think you guys. You'll say blue, Carolina. I was kind of thinking blue too, but so far pinks are totally winning. So pinks, yeah, pinks are definitely winning. All right, you guys. I may do the blue egg at a later date, or if we have a little bit of time. I have no idea how long this will take us. You know, I always think that I have all this time in the world, and it never ends up being that way. I'm usually running out of time. So I have come to the conclusion, finally, after 61 years, that I am not good at time management. So I don't know why it took me so long. I guess I just don't want to admit it. I don't know. But I'm trying to get better. So we have 4 different fabrics we're going to use. I do have the fabric Mod Podge. So we're going to start putting some of that on our egg. I don't think I'm going to iron these. We'll put them on wet. So actually, let's do a few cutouts. Now, I thought there's many different ways I could do this. You know, I could just try to fit the fabric around the egg. Or I could do strips. And then we'd have, you know, like a stripe design. But I decided I kind of wanted to do like a patchwork design. So that's what we're going to do. This has already been sewn into, who knows what I was going to make, right? So I'm just going to cut up here a little ways because we're going to cut out some squares. I could make a pattern first. Thanks for sprinkling, Carolyn. Welcome. Cheryl, Carla, thanks for sprinkling. Stephanie, if I say hi to you twice, it's because for some reason now on my lives, Facebook just keeps saying over and over again who is watching. So I lose track of what I've said and not said, right? I actually have some like little Post-it like type notes right here. We could use this for our pattern. That was just staring at me, so I was like, oh, that would be good. I don't have to do one that way. So I'm going to cut it out. Probably I'm going to try to fold it in half and then fold over again so we can cut out 4 at a time. And this might be a little big. Let's see how it looks once we get it cut out on our egg. But it's a good starting point. How's the weather where you guys are at? It's a beautiful day in Colorado today. We're not going to get super warm, but you guys, we are supposed to get into the 80s next week, which is a bit crazy. So I think we're high 50s today. Hi, Deb, Stephanie. So if you guys see any pages hop on here that you haven't followed yet, be sure and give them a follow. Yeah, that's probably a little bigger than I want. Let's go down to, let's say, half this size. Someday I will learn where I have put everything since I cleaned my crafter. I think I just stuck my pencils and pens like way far away from me for some reason. Fabric scissors, paper scissors, 2 different types of scissors, right? Hi Lulu, with Lulu Crafting with a Purpose. How are you today? I saw you earlier today. Everybody's done an amazing job. I was watching quite a few of them until I ran to Joann's, you guys. It made me so sad. Have you guys been into Joann's since the store is closing? I've been trying to avoid it because I actually have people in there that know me. Imagine that, just because I buy so much fabric, right? And we were talking about it because in my part of Colorado where I'm at, we are between Denver and Salt Lake, kind of pretty much halfway in between. So our valley is what we call where we live, because we have like book cliffs and mesas surrounding us. You know, the Rocky Mountains are about an hour and a half away from us. And anyway, we're the largest area between Denver and Salt Lake. And there's around 100,000 people in our area, our little valley here. And so we're doing the same with this, you guys. You know, we don't have tons of choices. We do have a Hobby Lobby here, but their fabric is fairly limited. And they don't have near the selection that Joann's has. Anyway, we were talking about how sad it was that it was going to be closing. I was talking to the gal who cuts the fabric, and she's like, you know what? We could like start this thing on Marketplace for those of us who have fabric stashes, because she was like, you know, I have quite a big fabric stash. And I'm like, yeah, me too. She's like, I'm not going to run out anytime soon. And so I'm like, yeah, we could put it on Marketplace and say, hey, I'm getting tired of all my fabrics. Let me see what you have. Why don't we do a swap? So that was kind of a fun idea, right? There is a couple of quilt stores here, but I use flannel for some of the things I like to do. And, you know, you can order, of course, online. And cottons are fairly easy to get, but when you get into flannels and fleeces and then your nicer fabrics, you know, a selection of them isn't as easy to come by. So anyway, we were trying to come up with a way that we could all still have a selection. I didn't double that fabric when I cut it, unfortunately. So double it, go again. These aren't going to be super perfect. If I was wanting them to be super perfect, I would definitely pin them and flatten my fabric a little better. Yeah, when you go in, you have to buy a 2-yard minimum. I can show you what I purchased if we have time. I only got 3 different prints. I was trying to be good. And, you know, it's not super on sale right now. It's, the flannels were 40% off, but the cottons were only 20% off. So, you know, a lot of times their sales were much better than that. So, and they're supposedly supposed to be getting trucks in all the time, you know, because they're emptying out all their warehouses. But she told me that they had been supposed to be getting a truck for like a week and it hadn't come in yet. So I am probably going to do a little bit more of this fabric than the other ones. So we will cut out twice as many of these to start off with. I probably will have to cut out more. But yeah, I don't know. They do have their patterns on sale for 40% off. Patterns are so pricey too. It was just sad to see the store. Of course, I feel like a lot of people were in there for the yarn. Just as many for the yarn as there were for the fabric. Thank you for sprinkling, Cheryl. How are you doing today? Hi, Brenda. Thank you guys for hopping on. Okay, I'm going to cut out one more set of this, and then we'll start Mod Podging it on here. And of course, I didn't have a ton of time. It's probably a good thing, right? So I had to just kind of go through the store fairly fast. Like all their decor and stuff, I think was 40% off. Spring decor. The things that were really gone out of the store for sure were like the threads and the zippers and all like the notions that, you know, don't really go on sale a lot. And I wanted to get some thread for this serger that I just got for Christmas, but all the basic colors were gone. Of course, those what are going to go first. And I was like, what other colors, you know, should I buy? I don't know. So I didn't end up getting any in. They didn't have a lot left of that. Okay, we're going to make some piles here. And let's hope this turns out as cute as as it was going to be in my head, right? Hi, Cruz. How are you? Hi, Dawn. How are you doing today? Okay, here we go with some Mod Podge. And because I don't want it to dry, I'm going to put this on fairly thick while I'm putting these on. I'm just going to put one square basically here on the bottom. So this is a great use of scrap fabric if you guys happen to have any lying around. I am going to be starting a fabric subscription box up here in the very, very near future, since I have so many fabrics, right? I'm getting the details worked out on that. And I'm going to put this one kind of looking like a diagonal. I did try the Mrs. Quilty subscription box. The first month I thought was pretty good. And then the second month they came out with these funky fabrics that to me looked a little witchcrafty. So since that's not my jam, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to continue with that. So I canceled my subscription. All right, so these are going on pretty good, you guys. There we are so far. Hi, Monarch Mom DIY. How are you? And Rebecca, welcome. So now we're going to stick one of our flower fabrics on. You just really need to get this on fairly thick. Definitely need to apply that generously. Oh boy. Hi Kimberly, welcome. So today, in case you missed the beginning, we are doing crafting with plastic for our Fun Friday and Craft Around the Clock. So I am using some plastic Easter eggs that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. And we are Mod Podging some squares of fabric onto it. And then if you have any edges that aren't sealed, be sure and just go over those with your Mod Podge. Looks like we're ready to use a gingham one. This one I'll probably put at a diagonal again. So I'm just overlapping a little bit what I've already put on there. My room's actually kind of hot today. Hi Sissy, how are you today? Welcome. If you guys do not know me, I am Darlia, owner of Darche Designs. I live in Colorado. I have 6 children and I have 6 grandchildren now. And what else? I don't know. Thank you for sprinkling, Sissy. I appreciate that. Okay, now we're going to kind of go back to what we've already used. I'm going to use this little polka dot one. Let's see, going back to it being more of a square. I'm like, plastic Easter eggs are great to put treats in, but it's like, what else could we do with them, you know, to make them a little more appeasing. So something else that I was thinking about doing one out of is like duck cloth, maybe, or you could use the like painting canvas covers. you could put those on and then stamp on it, or you could do transfers. So I don't know, I was thinking of maybe doing some of that too to one of them. All sorts of things once my mind got going of what could I do, right? I am a writer. Thank you, Dixie. I know, I'm trying to get my next book going. I'm doing that outline and trying to come up with a story right now, and it does take a bit. Plus I have taxes on my plate, which I don't know about you guys, but taxes are definitely not my favorite. Paperwork, it's funny that I like to be a writer, but I really do hate doing paperwork. It's totally different though. One is being creative and the other one is just boring, right? Okay, we're down to, I think, one more piece here on the bottom. Sorry, you guys. This is taking a bit of time, right? I could have went just with those bigger blocks, but I think it'll be cuter having the littler squares. So here's what it's looking like up close. So I'm going to try to speed up my process a little bit here. So I think we could maybe use half squares up here at the top part, because I don't want it in where the eggs go together. So we could probably just use the half pieces. Be prepared to have your hands get pretty gooey. And that way we won't have to cut out as many either. Okay, I'm going to set that there real quick. Grab a wipe. So there are tons of things you can decorate these with too after we get the fabric on there. I don't know about you guys, but there's something about having glue on my hands that bothers me. Weird, huh? Hi, Teresa. Thank you for being here today. All right, so I'm going to cut each of these in half. We're going to use those toward our top part. I didn't promise to cut it equally. Maybe if I set my fabric down, I'll do a better job. Okay. All right, let's get these on. So I'm going to go up above this one and let's see. I think I'll put one of these here. No, not quite enough, but maybe we will fill that in with something else. So I'm going to call that good for now. We can put some ribbon around here. Okay, next piece. I think we're going to use one of our floral ones. Let's see, we're going to do a polka dot one here. I almost did get that floral one a little too close to where it twists on. Hi Hi, Ginger. How are you doing? Okay, we're down to the last, maybe not, couple on this side. See what I mean? You don't ever anticipate, you know, we're going to do another floral, how long it might take you. Well, let's say I don't. I'm sure you guys do much better at it than I do. Okay, I'm going to add a big piece right here because we have a pretty big area right there. And if you don't like the fact that it looks more of like a stripe here around the top, you could definitely go back in and add a few more pieces on top if you weren't liking that. So I think we'll add a gingham piece right here. And that's kind of covering up our floral one, but we can add more of those to other places if we want over some of our other ones. All right, I think our bottom half is pretty much done now. So let that dry and we're going to get started on the top. And I'm going to start it with a floral piece because we have quite a few more of those than I do the other ones. So what have you guys made out of plastic? I was looking for ideas, and I was going to make a flower out of a milk jug, cut out the petals and do all of that. Hi Jane. Hi Twyla, how are you? And I was like, I don't know. I just couldn't decide on that, and I was trying to think, well, what, you know, can I do with some other things like pop bottles or just containers. And it wasn't until this morning that I got this idea. It's always how it is, right? It comes to you fairly at the last moment, and then you're like, oh yeah, I could do that. When this dries, it won't be so transparent. Right now it looks a little transparent because it's so wet, but once it dries, it won't be that bad. So I'm going to do another floral right here. Your hands get so sticky. It's hard to pick them up. I think if we just do one more row down, we'll be pretty close. I need to cut out another one or two gingham ones. I'm going to go ahead and put one of these in here. Trying to hurry, you guys. I want you to see what I'm going to do to it. Okay, set this down for just a second. I'm going to get a little bit more fabric cut. I think a couple more of the gingham and the polka dot one will be sufficient, hopefully. Well, we'll double it up just in case. I figured I would probably have to cut more. I didn't cut all the way through the second layer. I have so many things I want to make. It's just the limited amount of time. Is that what you guys find too? You have way more ideas than you do time. Don't stick there. So my plans are that I have some rickrack, I have some lace, I have some ribbon, I have some pom-pom material, of course we could add buttons, just a ton of different things that we could add to this little egg. And I wanted to let you guys be able to choose fabrics. I probably should have had these cut out. I could have cut out both colors, I guess, and did it that way. All right, last one that we're cutting more out. Okay. Well, I might have to cut out some more floral, but I think we're good. We're just going to go with it and see where we end up. We have a few more minutes left. Hi, Mary, with Ocean Breeze and me. Back to our little egg. Let's get these on there. So I'm going to put, I think, a polka dot in here, and we will have gotten our first row on our second half of the egg done, and hopefully we only have to do one more row. All right, I'm going to start right here where I'm at, and we're going to put a gingham one right there. My hands are just getting so sticky that it just sticks to the fabric. Doesn't want to let go. Okay, we're ready for our next one. I think we're just going to do this pink color right here. And then over here, I think we need another gingham one. I got a lot of floral ones on with that first round, evidently. Like, who needs those? It's so crazy that Easter is so far into doing another gingham one right. Well, no, I have that right there. I'll just do the pink one. so far into April this year. And then right here, I am actually going to do a floral one. And there is a little bit of fill-in needed here at the bottom. But let me look at my time. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. That was my hope, was that it would turn out super cute. I like patchwork too. And I thought it was something a little different. Okay, I'm going to use these half squares now, I think, down here. So I may have to cut a couple. Of this one, we can go all the way to the edge because we don't have to have that twisty part to twist on, so we can go right up to the edge down here. I think I need I always get that little cut out right at the end. I'm like, stop. This is a pretty wet egg at the moment, for sure. I'm going to do another floral one right here. And then if any fabric starts to come up, you can hit it again with your Mod Podge. And then right here, I think we're going to do a polka dot one. Of course, I don't have any cut. We're going to be putting other stuff on here. So, you know, your cuts, trying to excuse my cuts, you guys, don't have to be perfect. Just in case you're wondering. All right, we are down to the last few. There's a little yuck off the Mod Podge. Okay, I'm going to do a gingham one right here. Like I said, because it's so wet, it is looking pretty translucent right now, but definitely as it dries, that will not be that way. I think we can have a lot of fun doing different things. You have 4 eggs in that package, so it gives you a good amount to work with. I think next time I will start at the place where it comes apart and work my way down. Is what I am thinking as I'm doing this one. Just letting you guys know my thoughts. So if you go to try it, you'll be like, oh yeah. So I'm going to set that on here. So hopefully you guys can see it. It is very, very wet. I would love for you guys to follow my page if you haven't already. I also do have a Telegram that you can subscribe to that I let you know when I go live. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way real quick. I know we're just about out of time. And I will dry this, but let me give you some ideas of what I was thinking I could add to it. Of course, I have some lace. I think probably for this egg, I would rather do a white because the tones in the fabric, as you guys can see, are more white. Cream, definitely, if you are using cream tones, would be good. I even thought of, you could even add a layer of lace over your patchwork if you wanted to. Or we could do a different egg and put some fabric on it and add that to it. I do also have some rickrack, so we can definitely add that around it. I have some different colors. I have these little pom-poms. If I can find them. I have beads. You could add beads to it. Here's our little pom-poms. I have white. This is kind of a pinkish coral color, but that would also be pretty on it. You could add some bling to it. I have some of that from Totally Dazzled, but you can have a lot of fun with these eggs. So I hope I've given you guys some inspiration. If you like this idea, let me know. I'm going to dry this up, and then I'm going to do some decorating, and we might do one of the other eggs on a different live in the near future, and I'm going to try to do up all 4 of them, and I'll show you guys as I get them done. But thanks so much. I hope you will head back over to Craft Around the Clock. If you are already on that page, all you have to do is swipe down to refresh your screen. If you're not, that link is in my description. There's going to be tons of cute ideas all of the rest of the day. So thank you guys for joining me. Have a blessed day, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I hope you like this idea, and I will see you all next week. Love you guys. I am covered in glue.